principal at Forest Creek Middle School. It is always a thrill for us to present these young musicians at their very first performance. We know you will be pleasantly surprised at what they have accomplished in just a few short months. And I must say, you all clean up very nicely. You look so amazing. Not everyone learns to play an instrument. It takes physical and mental work. It also takes time to practice. Each of the musicians here tonight have demonstrated their ability and the desire and have earned membership in the Forest Creek Middle School Band. They are going to demonstrate what has been learned up to this point in their brief but successful musical careers. Before we let the students take the instrument out of their beautiful protective plastic case, we made them learn the proper posture to play an instrument. Parents, this is how your student should be sitting when practicing at home. One of the keys to success on a wind instrument is breath support. We work on breathing exercises to help build and strengthen our lungs. Before we ventured into playing on the instruments, we only let them play on their mouthpieces and head joints for the first few weeks to make sure they were producing the proper sounds. After learning how to take the instruments out of the cases and assembling them, they finally got to do what they had wanted to do for a long time. They got to produce the first sound on their instruments. It sounded something like this. Obvious Miss Laird had her work cut out for her. The second week proved to be quite eventful. Miss Laird, with the help of some others, patiently worked with the band until they could all produce their very first note. Now they sound like this. Quite an improvement. They needed a little more work before they were ready for this performance. Producing that first note allowed them to proceed to the first lessons where they learned to count while they played. This is necessary to perform together. Rhythm and beat to those first notes, and it began to take on a new sound. To help them learn to read new notes and rhythms, the band counts, claps, and taps their feet. They note, name, and finger. It's almost like learning a language, isn't it? Finally, they are able to play through a new piece or exercise. few notes, but it is still not a complete tune that you would go around whistling all day. They added a couple of new notes and discovered they could start playing some recognizable tunes. This might have been the moment at home when you felt for the first time that band class was starting to take hold. This is what they sounded like at school that day. We don't want to bore you with all the mechanics of the next few lessons.